Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. If you didn't see the previous part, make sure you go and watch that before this one. So what Rich and I are going to explain now very briefly is the importance and the significance of the Zodiac. I know a lot of people, especially younger kids these days, are like, oh, the Zodiac doesn't make a difference. You're wrong. Wake up. Stop being indoctrinated by the education system. And we're about to teach you some reality and some truth here. The Zodiac, in its modern essence, is Latin in divination. It's basically from the Greeks and the Romans. However, the Hindus and the Egyptians also had their own versions of it that preluded in the Greek and the
Every
Roman.
culture has a version of this. Yes. This is older than society itself.
Yes. And what this basically represents is the 360-degree scope of view of all the stars within our viewable sky, broken down into 30-degree quadrants of 12. Okay, and then based off of the constellations, the patterns of the stars, and also the energies that they believe came from each of these 30-degree quadrants, they attached these Earth-like qualities to these 30-degree sectors of the sky to make the Zodiac. Now,
think of it like, for them, the planets had a lot of the energy.
Right.
They were the active forces, so to speak.
Yes.
The electric forces, if you will, for the terms of the Zodiac, because as Matt said, Saturn is more magnetic.
Right.
This you could think of as the magnetic, in the sense that I like to think of it as sort of like a filter.
Yes.
If you will.
Yes.
So this definitely has, whatever sign you are, definitely has, according to a lot of theories, and we think so too, has some influence on your personality, or let's say your tendency to develop into certain personality traits.
Now, that doesn't mean that you should ever use these types of things as an excuse, never to grow or change.
Don't be fatalistic.
Don't be like that. However, at the same token, you also have to recognize some of the influences that they have so that you can better yourself and you can avoid the negative and play into the positive. That's essentially what we're getting at here. So, for example, one of the big things about the Zodiac is that Aries is the start and Pisces is the end. The funny thing about this is that the spring equinox, or primavera in Latin, used to be the actual first day of the year. Used to be the beginning of the year. So around March 20,
perfect sense too.
March 21st. Yes. This is where the Christians get the concept of the Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world.
That's also why Easter's around that time.
Yep.
That's why, again, this is one of those things where almost every culture has a version of this.
Yep.
They have some sort of holiday or celebration or religious rite around the spring equinox.
Also fall, also summer, also winter.
And also, just like side note, mainly what we're talking about here is normally, of course, in the northern hemisphere.
Yes.
So like it's going to be different in the southern.
It's going to be different,
we get
right?
That. But just for the sake of, this is where we grew up. This is the majority of our basis.
Bear
of
with
learning.
us. Bear with us.
It's what we're going to refer to.
Right.
But that doesn't really matter, because our point is spring.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah.
The renewal of life.
Yes.
The victory of the sun over the cold darkness of winter.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
He comes back. He's
Yes.
been dead. He's been sleeping. Whatever.
Right. So if you take a look, Aries is here, Cancer is here, Capricorn is here, and Libra is here. Right. So these four assist in the development of the seasons. Aries is the beginning, March prima, first, right?
And in the zodiac, in astrology, the sun is exalted, which means it's in its highest place. It's very revered. It's even better than home. Like, home is where it's most comfortable. Mm-hmm. I guess you could think of it that way. So like the sun is home in Leo. So that's where it's most comfortable. It's most in its zone.
Right.
But when it's, I guess you could say, when it has the most, I suppose, spiritual power.
Yes.
That's a good way to think about it, because when it's in Leo, it's summer. It's super hot. It's almost oppressive. The sun's just maximum blast.
Right.
Full physical power.
Yeah.
But when it's here, it's got more spiritual power.
Yeah.
That's when nature starts waking up.
Yeah.
The flowers bloom. The birds, bees.
Exactly.
Everybody starts feeling, maybe a little bit frisky. But everybody's happy. Everybody feels good. They want to be outside. They want to feel that sunshine. They feel the energy in the air, and it's not just the temperature change or the sunshine.
Yes, exactly. The Aries is also a fire sign, and so is Leo, ironically. So after Aries, you have Taurus, which is for basically for May, and then Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and then starts back up at Aries.
Because everything's a cycle.
Everything is a cycle. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to these signs, they have different properties to them. So, for example, like I said, Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, they're all fire signs. water signs would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Now, as you do more research about this, you'll find that the zodiac also has influence over different sectors of the body. There are 12 cranial nerves, which are the main nerves that incorporate the 12 major systems within the body, and they're very corollary with the 12 zodiacal signs.
More magic numbers for you.
More magic numbers. There's also 12 months. This is why a lot of people believe that we are basically made in God's image, because there's 12 cranial nerves that control 12 parts of the body, the 12 systems of the body, the immune system, the respiratory system, etc., etc.
The microcosm to the macrocosm.
The microcosm to the macrocosm.
As above, so below.
That's right.
Very true.
Very true.
One of my favorite little examples, and I don't know if it means too much, but I like to think it does, is if you ever go out there and you look at pictures of galaxies from far off, it has a startling resemblance to brain cells.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly it. And if you want to have more information on the Zodiac, we highly recommend that you read The Zodiac and Assaults of Salvation by Carey and Perry.
Very fantastic.
Very
also,
fantastic.
All works by Dr. George Carey.
Yeah.
Very good.
Biochemist, right?
Biochemist. He has got another fantastic book with a really great title, also assisted by Ms. Perry. It's called God Man,
The
Word Made Flesh. Really awesome title. It's I wouldn't call it an easy read, just because
None of these are easy reads.
Dr. Carey's very brilliant, but you can definitely tell when you read it, he's got a lot of things he wants to say, and he doesn't always know how to best articulate it in intuitive vernacular, I guess you could say.
So one of the things that he pointed out to me, which was very interesting, is this is the forming zygote of a human embryo. Okay, and this is at 4 weeks. If you'll notice, it does make a circle right before the feet are actually detached from the head. Why is this important? Because it's corollary with the zodiac, and we're about to show you why. Right here, as you'll notice, a forming child in the mother's womb will actually be connected fully in a circle before the feet detach. So
similarly to how you see in this thing on the cover, you have a gentleman
yes,
who is in a sort of yoga pose,
yes,
connecting the circle with the feet and the head.
yes.
This is a really common picture in a lot of zodiac circles, especially in the Indian, or sorry, I don't want to say, I guess Buddhist and Hindu traditions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very common symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, it's also cool because it incorporates. See right there, Aries is the actual head,
or the
Pisces is the feet.
Right. So Aries is the head, or the cerebrum. Taurus, the cerebellum, the lower mind. Gemini are the lungs and the hands. That's why there's two of them, the twins. Cancers, I'm a Cancerian, my sun sign, big chest. And you'll also find that some girls who are Cancers have,
What?
Leo is the heart. Virgo is the stomach. The kidneys and the liver are for Libra. The Scorpio is the genitalia. Sagittarius is the hips. Also fun fact to know is that in Greek and in Latin, hippo used to mean horse, and that's where we get hips from.
Oh.
Yeah, and then also
that makes
Capricorn, or the kneecap. Capricorn. Aquarius is the shins, and Pisces is the feet.
And that's me.
And that's him. He's a Pisces.
I'm the feet.
So, and we're both water signs. So, boom. So all of these 12 correlate with 12 different parts of the body. At least they believe so. And
they also, as this book right here,
Yep.
Suggests with the title, with the salts, there are
12.
There are 12 of these things that are called cell salts, and they're salts. They're basic substances that your body uses, and it's super important for them drawing the actual I guess you would call it the actual nutrition into your body.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you consume food and beverage, a lot of the time the actual good stuff that your body needs to like rebuild itself and replenish like important stuff,
Yes.
doesn't necessarily come from the food. It's more burned off, I guess you could say, like coal.
Yes.
In a sense, if you want to think about it like that. And that provides this sort of raw energy to get these cell salts and to get them to where they need to go. And they are like the big important helpers and builders in your body.
Exactly. And not only that, but when it comes to the zodiac and how it is relative to the body, I highly recommend that you track the phases of the moon. because the moon will go within each of the 12 zodiacal signs. And once again, each sign is just a 30-degree sector where a lot of the ancients and also we believe the cosmic radiation and the electromagnetic theories come into play, where energy is essentially harnessed and it comes from those sectors of the sky. It's just basically catalyzed by the sun mainly and other planets in the sky. So while we're in these specific months, different factors correlate with them. And if you're into astrology, you're into the zodiac, you should highly look into this. The other thing about the months, to just further prove the point that Aries in March used to be the first month of the year, two things that are very important to note this. July, before it was named after Julius Caesar, and August, before it was named after Augustus. July was known as Quintilis, and August was known as Sextilis, 5 and 6. If you go March, April, May, June, July, that's 5, and then you have August, which would be 6. And the other thing too is look at October, November, Deca, December. That October should be 8, but it's 10. So all you have to do is flip it 2 months back, and you'll find that our current naming structure is we still have allusions towards the old ways that the calendar used to be before the Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar were essentially initiated. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, you comment, and you ring that notification bell. You can also check us out on Instagram and support us on Patreon if you found this information interesting. Also, give us some information down below, give us some feedback and some comments. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say, especially if you have recommendations for our Patreon or a shop that will be opening up soon.